All right, y'all. So we are here for a podcast to discuss Monitor Comics. I recently saw something he posted, and as you can see right here, this is his Twitter page, and I was greatly disturbed. I decided to look deeper into Monitor as to like, you know what, what's this guy about? Because he got a YouTube channel that I'm like, wait a minute, is this dude giving advice on how to draw manga, but he doesn't have a manga? Something is weird. But I'm also joined with Chris, who was part of Monitor's Discord, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris is going to be spilling the beans as to like how he was treated in there. Because I'm the boogeyman, right? I'm the evil guy, but I'm not out here kicking people out and treating them pretty badly. So let's start with you, Chris. How did you find Monitor, and you when did you join his Discord, and what led to you being kicked out?
I well, for starters, you're the reason why I was kicked out.
Mm,
100% you. You did it. It's
wow.
all you.
I wonder what happened, bro. Like, how did it happen?
So you did a paid review of Dream Match Revolution,
Hmm.
and I didn't really get like a notification of anything of like, hey, you're being removed or whatever. It was like, oh, you're being removed because you've been um, what's the word I'm looking for? You haven't been active on the on the Discord or whatever, which is fine.
Mm.
So um, he told me that because I had to ask him in DM like hey what happened, and he said that I wasn't active, and I was like I was just talking like about 2 days ago, and he's talking about like hey, all you do is post links, you don't really have conversations, and I was like I try to have convos, but I left it alone. So I just said, hey, you know what? It's your Discord, your rules. I let it go, and he was very happy for me to not go and keep going further. So like a week later, another user that was in that same Discord came to me and was like, I was kicked out, and I was like, for what? And he said because I had Muzi do a review, for me. And I was like, that's odd because I was kicked out for a whole different reason, but I also have paid money for Musi to review something for me. So I kind of put two and two together and realized, oh, okay, this guy's kind of a weirdo for that. So then um, I like a month or so later, I made a tweet where I was like, hey, I'm joining Ogo, and against all the blacklisting and whatnot, this is where I'm supposed to be at, and um, he never answered because it was a tweet towards him, but he never really answered exactly. Um, like it was me trying to like target him, but like you doing this video lets me put it out there that like these like secret Discord groups are not exactly beneficial or helpful, not at all.
So now, while you were in there, was there anything you learned at all being in Monitor's Discord? Because I don't know why this guy's popular. I know he got screwed by Fred from Saturday AM as well, like most of us. But I honestly don't understand how and why he has like 86,000 subscribers on YouTube. For what reason? Like, honestly, he's got no product. All that it seems to me is like he's just a hunchback and fishwife that talks about manga and so on and wants to give advice, but with no credentials, like none. And then he's got this weird VTuber avatar that is a flippin' transsexual looking freak, like a female girl face with a male body. It doesn't make any sense. Like this is the highest degree of hunchbackery, bro. You know, I can't take this guy seriously, but I don't understand why other people are taking him seriously. So perhaps I missed something. In his Discord, was there anything of value, of substance that actually was helpful to you while you were there?
No, not at all. It was just other artists, or in my case, it was more like it was like a mixture of artists, writers, manga enthusiasts, things like that. Not to talk ill on like the people that was in there. There are some pretty good people that were in there or are still in there. But the Discord itself, I don't see it being as beneficial. Um, you There were like paid tiers in the Discord, so like there were like
Oh,
other YouTubers that were in there, which
okay.
I don't really understand that, but like that's why they were so anal about people being active in there because people that were there were people that were paying a premium to sit in there, but I didn't find nothing really beneficial for me at least being in there or being in generally any Discord.
Okay, so basically, Monitor's Discord was just an expensive clubhouse. That's all it was. A bunch of people who want to get complimented for trying or complimented for being in association with Monitor because his optics seem to be very good, having such a high subscriber number and getting obviously views in the thousands consistently. But no one is questioning why this dude even deserves it because at the end of the day, as I said, what is he offering? Now, I came to find out this dude has been selling manga templates. Like, guys, you do realize, like, as you can see on the screen right here, you do realize these templates are found on Clip Studio Paint, right? And this nigga selling them for $5 each. I mean, this is legit scamaction.com. If I did something so insane, somebody would have easily said, bro, these templates are in Manga Studio. I mean, yeah, Manga Studio or Clip Studio. But he can do it and no one questions anything. And gang people have been going in to buy this. This is so bizarre to me. What gave this guy the credentials to scam people to this degree when he has no catalog, backlog, or any portfolio that can show us that he knows what he's talking about? Why do you think that Monitor is taken more seriously than, well, I suppose, because everybody thinks I'm the boogeyman. So they just run with the narrative that I am a boogeyman, I'm a liar, I'm a scammer. Yet I'm not making people pay for Discord access and stuff like that to that degree. I'm not selling crazy templates that you can find on Clip Studio. What makes this dude more believable than me, basically? What's your opinion on that?
You I think you already know the answer to that. So, but like real quick, the Discord access was just for like a YouTuber's tier, but like I don't know what that was in hindsight. But the one of the bigger differences of you and him is that you don't you don't utilize YouTube in the exact way that a lot of people like him do, where they um, have that like large general personality. Like you
Oh, I
are
see.
much more direct about what you're trying to get at, and then you try to erase any type of self doubt that you might mean something else. You're always, I mean this, and I mean this now. A lot of people go on YouTube and they kind of just talk, and they kind of just have that like set up, and then they put all of these videos in locations where, because like I hate to say this, as somebody who works in schools, not many people have a high rate of reading.
Hmm.
So people are more inclined to just watching, and he's just something that's easier to watch. And um, it doesn't mean that people are paying attention to him, but it's just the fact that like it's a lot easier to like have it on and
Oh
then let that
yeah,
bar
you're
fill
right. You're right. And he's got all kinds of zombie editing, bells and whistles, lights and
in. Yeah.
gimmicks that, is good for the small-minded. Um, well, that's a damn shame. But anyways, look, Monitor, honestly, bro, I want to say I don't have any problems with you, but you are a problem in the indie space because you're out here creating slop videos, right? Slop content and creating passive videos for people to just play in the background. You have this transsexual, weird freak of nature VTuber avatar, flipping disgusting, confusing people out here. And and you have all these edits of other people doing their work. What work are you doing? In fact, let's go to his YouTube, his Twitter. So honestly, I say Monitor is a hunchback because he ain't got no product, right? He's just a guy chasing trends. Like there's that big buff black guy that's been trending lately as a fitness scammer. He'd be waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning and doing all this crazy stuff. And Monitor decided to jump on that trend and create a weird avatar for the guy. And it's like, okay, that's nice and funny, bro, but what are you doing? Right? Are these the types of comics that you do? You doing trendy comics? Is this the product you're selling? Oh, wait, you're selling templates that are for free on Clip Studio already. Like, what the actual hell? And then on top of that, the dude is out here drawing lollies, drawing children in bikinis and lingerie, like this photo over here. Guys, I mean, how the hell are you going to be comfortable with this? I don't get it. I don't get it. Because so many people in the manga community, even manga community, indie manga community, everybody's so sensitive about pedophilia like media, right? Imagery. But Monitor does it all the time and nobody gives a damn. I mean, look at this, bruh. This dude out here thirst trapping with little children in bikinis, putting their booty all over the place. Nobody saying anything. This is his product. Y'all pay for commissions to get little children to be illustrated in bikinis like this? Like, give me a break. I honestly wonder, Chris, what are these hunchbacks going to say in response to my outrage to this pedophilia media that I am seeing all over his Twitter? What do you think they would say? What's going to be the cope that they are going to use?
They're going to say the same thing that they said about the other 20 videos that you've done in the last year. Nothing. They have decided to turn their back on you because giving you the reaction they feel is exactly what you want, and that's just how they feel.
That's a damn shame, bro. They don't have any legitimate arguments, but it just shows the hypocrisy. Somebody they don't like who would be drawing children in bikinis, they would want to burn their house down or dox them. But Monitor does it all the time, and it's completely okay because Monitor is an enabler of bad standards. This guy's artwork is profoundly flat, and it probably relies on 3D mods. He doesn't understand anatomy at all, and you can tell by the way he draws his male characters. Like this, for example, is totally jacked up. And so it makes me wonder as to so the indie manga people, majority, prefer what looks to be a pedophile who creates slop content, passive content, who's not going to hold anyone accountable for their poor work ethic. This is actually what people want. It doesn't matter how degenerate the so-called manga artist is, like Monitor Comics. It doesn't matter. He just has to be an enabler of poor standards, poor work ethic, and retardation. And that's all that they care about. And at the same time, they dream and fantasize about completing something and being a part of something bigger, but the actions show the opposite. So now that we have confirmed this, Chris, how are we supposed to move forward? Should we even try to appease to consumers in the indie manga community at this point?
No, because there's not. I've said this prior to you and to many people. There's no standard. There's no real true method in the indie manga sell space. People will come in here because they are familiar with manga, but they don't want indie manga. They just want to be in a space that happens to have it, and so that they can just view it and look at it. But nobody really wants to interact with it on a top scale. Where if you were to stay in any manga as it is right now, it's not going to go anywhere at all. So all you can really do is just take standards, take your formats and your goals, and just do your own thing as we are right now.
Right. And at the end of the day, it seems like every true, authentic creator is going to have to rely on their own tribe that they form. You know, this is what I've been saying. Like at the end of the day, you're just going to need your own little tribe. Because clearly, yeah, the general consumers of this space, bunch of brain dead zombies. Like they don't even really, they don't need comics. They don't need manga. They don't even want to read it. They want somebody to talk about manga that they've never heard about and just hear stuff about it, but never truly engage with it. This is the height of our society right now. It's a damn shame. So let's quickly talk about that supply and demand video I made, right? Now, clearly, whoever wants to thrive in this community, the general demand is for you to supply garbage. But if you have respect for yourself, right, you are not going to supply garbage. But real quick, explain to the people what you took out of that video I made of supply and demand is what's missing, or the understanding of supply and demand is what's missing in the general indie comic manga space. What did you get out of it?
You can't generally put things out that you want to see versus what the general public wants to see. Sometimes there's no overlap. So we have a lot of people that have resources and the skill set to either write and draw these comics. But if you don't have people to reach out to or come from a certain level of understanding, or as you would say, to pull from reality, then it's just going to fall flat on its face and it won't do well. And this is not just me talking about it. This is somebody who's actually done this kind of thing before. When I've also made something that didn't pull from a certain level of reality. So you have to ask yourself, what am I making this for, and who am I making this for before you go any further.
Right. Well, people don't want to listen to that, and it's fine. Real quick, I got a comment that I deleted because I ain't got time to argue with retards and hunchbacks anymore. But I really realized something about a few people. This one dude is like, so you're gonna act like you're better than everyone else now. What is it that you're trying? I don't even understand his question, but that statement of like, I'm acting like I'm better than other people now. Now, what I got from that was this nigga mad that I managed to finish my work and he's still been standing still, and now he wants to throw that shade, right? And then he tries to wash away the insult with giving a compliment, which makes it a backhanded compliment, which, well, is invalid. It's not a compliment at all. Now, this whole envy, bro, because when people talk about me, they say I'm envious and jealous of other people's success. They would say I'm envious of Monitor Comics. Why would I be envious of a pedophile? Why? Give me a good reason why I'd be envious of a pedophile who draws children in lingerie, who creates brain dead content. Why? Why? It doesn't make any sense. The dude got no product. How can I be envious of that? But the real envy that I am seeing here is from people who said to me that you think you acting better than other people. Elaborate for the public, bro, what you get out of it in terms of like, okay, yeah, this is exactly why they're envious. Let's hear what you think about it, because obviously people will be like, nah, nigga, if you explain yourself, obviously you're going to have a bias towards yourself. But I'd say you're fairly neutral. You know, you don't just jump on this guy's court or that guy's court. You can examine things objectively. So, what's your opinion on that?
I, I'm just blown away from the fact that you said that. I thank you. I am very neutral. That's one of the things that I try my best to be, and be. And even though I'm with Ogo, I will try to see everybody's point. This was really simple. What they mean when they tell you that is that you dare to want something. You dare to want to be somewhere. And when you sit in an environment of people who are happy and living off the fat of the land that they don't till, and you want to do something else, they're gonna go, why would you want to, look at how happy we are. Why would you want to move any further? So it's really just about that environment of people are looking at you and going, so you think you're better than us. And it's like, yeah, I do, because I dare to want to be somewhere.
Right. So I don't even have to say that I think I'm better than y'all. The work ethic just automatically means I am better because you're just sitting on your ass. You know, these people they want to equalize all human beings to become talentless, lazy, zombie slop consumers like they are. You know, they don't want to contribute to that land that you spoke of. They just want to keep eating from it, And next thing you know, they see you getting up and trying to go farm some more extra grapes for yourself, some extra apples, and they get mad. It's like, hey, nigga, we have a steady supply. Why you gotta be like that? See, that mindset, bro, that is caveman third world mindset. The third world, in a way, is where it is because of such a mindset. Your neighbor doesn't want to see you plant a garden, bro. They're going to burn it down. They're going to tell the village elder that you think you're better than everyone. So you either have to give everybody the grapes or they have to destroy your garden type thing. Like, it's straight up hunchback, Neanderthal, third world mindsets. These are like those idiots you see in those movies, those old school movies in medieval times, bro. The peasants, it's peasant mindsets. It's insane to me that, and of course, it's mostly first world people who are portraying this mindset towards me, and I'm like, bruh, don't you see that you behaving like some backwards Neanderthal? No, they don't see it. I suppose because they spoiled. They've been eating from the land for free for too long, basically.
Right.
Yeah, that is a letdown. Now let's real quick talk about DD Mark with that Barbie doll post that he made. Now you said it's bait for me, right? And I guess I fell for it. What you think about this post, bro? Is it really bait, or is DD Mark really a true sissy after all?
I don't know, because I don't know much about DD Mark, but sometimes you have to like look at certain things and go, that does seem really all of a sudden. This definitely feels like maybe it's like as you said earlier, the guy who made that the video where he's working out at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And all of this is just to go sell water, and like no one's sitting down and going, I wonder if this company Saratoga, I wonder if they paid this guy to advertise, and that advertisement turned into memes, which made people buy 1,000% of their profits in like a month. I wonder if they're behind that. So when you see things that are so outlandish, you have to go, I wonder who that was set for. Now, but not to say maybe he does have a general interest for Barbie. I don't know, but it got us here.
Well, I suppose it was completely random that I clicked on DD Mark's profile because I was just looking at monitor, and then I saw DD Mark on the sidebar. I'm like, let me click, see what's happening, and then I just find out about this Barbie thing, bro. Like, guys, I mean, when I've been calling people sissies and fishwives and girly boys, this is exactly it. Now, I don't care if this was bait or not. Because if it was bait, It's like, bro, I thought you were a busy guy, Mark. Like, aren't you always drawing like 10 pages a day type thing? Why would you why would you want to bait me? For what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I think it is genuine that the dude loves him some Barbie. And if I'm reading here, he says, rewatched some Heat recently for the first time in a while. Surprised I still know the words to the songs. Like, nigga, what the hell you talking about? This is Omega soy boy action, right? Now, if I am reacting as the hunchbacks are hoping for, it's like, well, guys, it's true though. Like, you think this is normal? You think it's normal for a grown man with a beard, right, to be out here sharing the fact that he loves him some Barbie movies? Like, are you serious? Like, you cannot be serious. But you know what? You probably are serious because you're brain dead, damaged, and totally gay at this point. And I just can't anymore with this damn community, bro. And we see Fat Crumbs over here. She responded with a Barbie CD. Like, this is the end. This is totally the end. Because our Crumbs is a girl who wants to be a guy, I think. I mean, why else would she want to cut off her ninnies, right? But she says, but did you ever play the badassery that is the games? Oh, it's the game, a Barbie game. Wow, so many sea creatures saved. And Mark says, I have not. I need to know where I can purchase this immediately. Like, nah, y'all. Like, nah. This is the people you hunchbacks follow and love the most. Mark, if truly you are baiting me, right? If you're truly baiting me, you're baiting me so you can appease these retards who follow you. That's why you don't really talk to them very much, because they are that brain dead. You have to destroy your own image, your own masculinity. Drop your masculinity to this soy boy little girl bitchery, bro. Also, you can keep these hunchbacks who follow you, who didn't even buy your damn product, bro. How many books you sell, Mark? How many books you sell? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because it doesn't matter how much you sold at this point. At the indie space, you ain't gonna make bank like that anymore. You can't live off of it like that anymore. So, honestly, what is this for? Why would you humiliate yourself literally just for social media points? Chris, explain this insanity, man.
Is Mark indie right now?
Mark indie, yeah. He's still considered indie. I mean, he published with Dark Horse. So that's indie. Dark Horse is an established indie company, but nonetheless, it's not in the mainstream. It's not mainstream. So, yeah.
I have no idea what is mainstream anymore. They're starting to pick up indies left and right, and then those all of a sudden become mainstays. I don't really know. As you have said in the past, D.D. Marcus is super talented, and the issue is that he takes his talent into the wrong spaces for looks, and when it doesn't give him back the whole return as any great artist would, they kind of feel a letdown.
Right.
So I don't know. I wish I knew more about D.D. Mark because he apparently follows me. Didn't know that.
You know. Maybe
as I'm looking right now.
Maybe if you send him a DM and ask him, hey bro, what's up? He probably won't block you now since you spoke to me. But my main question is, like, how can a man humiliate himself and literally put on a dress? In fact, hey, you know what? You know what they do in Hollywood, right? Most men have to put on a dress as a ritual or something so that they can get better gigs. Maybe this is one way that Mark was told that, look, man, you want that Netflix series? Yeah, we're going to turn some of your characters gay, but I know you don't care about that. How's about you post that Barbie on your Twitter, bro? How's about you demoralize some of the real men who follow you because they respect your talent? Let's see if they want to follow you after that. And I'm telling you now, any real man still following Mark, regardless of his art talent, right after he put on a dress, metaphorically speaking, by sharing this damn Barbie doll thing, you've cut off your own testicles, bro. You demoralized at this point. I don't understand how somebody can sell off their integrity for numbers and for grocery money. Because art is supposed to be an expression of your inner man. And I have said that despite Mark's very high level, I would say, yeah, he's an A rank, B rank, according to the Coffee Comic Standard, B rank artist with a few A rank elements. Nonetheless, he's up there. How he can sacrifice his inner man to stay relevant. Like you are living in denial, basically. You're not truly expressing who you are. And if now you're going to put on a dress, like how is this supposed to inspire anyone? Like this is sickening, bro. This is disgusting. And people are still going to say, I'm a hater, I'm jealous. Jealous of a nigga who put on a dress? Jealous of a nigga who parading Barbie dolls? You out of your mind, right? Like, oh, nah, Chris, nah, bro. Would you put on a dress, man?
How much money?
Let's say $100,000.
$100,000. Can I keep the dress?
Can you keep it?
Yeah.
Why would you want to keep it?
Well, for $100,000, I also want the dress too.
Nigga, so you telling me you gonna wear the dress, bro? You mean you telling me you a hunchback as well? For 100,000? Come on, bro. Like, nah. Now that's demoralizing, Chris. That's demoralizing.
I have school loans, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but I know. You say, let's say that 100,000 pays it all off. At the end of the day, you would have cut your nuts off, though. Now you got to live with the fact that you put on that dress. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. We should not be so quick to sell our dignity because that's all we really have. So, sure, you can pay off your debt. You know, you can pay off a few things and so on. But in the end, your dignity, your humanity, your masculinity, that God-given thing about you, if it's gone, who cares if you're debt-free? Now you're spiritually in debt for all eternity. You know? I mean, this is what separates them real G's to them sissy boys. Them sissy boys are going to run around like Monitor, run around like Diddy Mark, right? And they're always going to be relevant because the powers that be made a deal with them that now we'll keep you relevant so long as you keep wearing your high heels for us, right? And it's like, bruh, are you really satisfied inside? Of course not. You know, one day, the more you want to stay relevant, next thing you want to know, it's like, okay, so apparently they want to film me getting blasted by some lesbian with a strap on, but it's for $2 million. Of course you want to take it, because if you took 100 G's for that dress and to pay off the loans, next thing you know, they're going to entice you with the strap on, right? And then the nigga going to take it. And obviously, by that time, there is nothing left. I know people want to be like, I'm exaggerating, but honestly, this is how it starts. It starts by just putting on the dress and the high heels as a man. All we have as dudes in this generation that we live in is our foundation and dignity, bro. You don't want to sacrifice that. We already sacrificed everything else. We went to school and we didn't get the jobs they promised us. We ended up in debt. You know, we couldn't buy the house that our parents told us that we could. We couldn't start that white picket fence family we saw in the movies because the system lied to us. We already lost everything. And now they want to take our inner man from us? Hell no. Hell to the no, bro.
Who would be the like indie comics like Harvey Weinstein?
Definitely Art Crumbs. Art Crumbs. Now you see, Art Crumbs definitely wearing a strap on, bro. Right? She knocked at your door and you denied the strap on. She like, hey Chris, don't talk to Coffee. Don't talk to Coffee. If you said yes, she would have blasted you with the strap on. But you said, nah, get away from me. Get away from me, you know? That's what I'm talking about. But you see all these other people, Monitor kicking you out. He was strapping other niggas, right? And Diddy Mark taking that Barbie doll. I guess he got strapped on as well at this point. So Harvey Weinstein of the indie space is definitely Art Crumbs and maybe a few other invisible people, right? But Art Crumbs got a lot of power for whatever reason. People are afraid of her but also talk smack about her at the same time. Why do you think this is?
Because all right, so this is way easy. You don't want to upset the order in public. In public, and not just for art crumbs, but just like some of our like indie elites. You typically don't want to upset the whole balance, but in private, people have discontent for like a lot of people. I'm in a Discord right now that I was invited to a while ago, where it's a bunch of like creators in there, and then like every so often they'll just have a random day of talking shit about some random guy who's not in the Discord. But they're like, I'll go on Twitter like a day later, and all of a sudden the guy tweets something out, and those same names will be up under the tweet, like throwing him shout outs and thumbs up. And I just be like, this happened and it's not just like in this one Discord, it happened in so many other places. It's common. It's super common. But you don't want to go over or go against the status quo of what is what, because if you do it, then there might be that like moving of the drapes of odds in a way.
And what do people get in return for submitting to the strap-on of our crumbs? They're out here sucking her off. I mean, she must feel great. She doesn't have a mushroom tip, but the way people are sucking her off, she definitely has the power. She's feeling like, yeah, I got a BBC now, right? It's a long one. And all of y'all in line sucking it off because I got the power. Tell me, y'all who are still under the BBC of art crumbs, what do you get out of it, right? You playing it safe, right? So you don't disturb the order. But what do you get out of it? You get stuck in a Discord dungeon, talking smack about other people. You don't have your work finished. No one gives you critical feedback. Y'all don't really talk about the craft. Not at all. You're not trying to improve. You're not trying to do anything. What do you get out of it? How the hell you won't give your booty to some space whale that is art crumbs to blast you from the back? What do you get out of it? Because all I see is being a loser, bro. A loser that has been traumatized and violated. It doesn't make any sense for me. Now, bro, you don't mind now. Obviously, they might kick you out in this Discord that you got invited in. Now,
No, because they don't know who you are.
Oh, okay, great. But tell us, you don't mind in general being kicked out of unproductive spaces anymore, right?
I generally would just leave them.
Okay. Because they are unproductive.
Yeah, no. Last year was my let me get into every single space known to man. Let me sit in on every single group, and we're all one big happy family. And then it turns out that if you live like that and you rule like that, you will get nothing done, or what you do get done will be of a target that does not exist. So it just does you better to just not be around and just work.
No, you're right. I see that perhaps, a lot of these people just can't sit by themselves and do the work by themselves. So maybe doing one page a year and getting complimented is enough for them not to blow their brains out, I suppose, because they clearly operating as if they're on the verge of it. But whatever. Right now I'm looking at Shrine Comics. Remember Shrine Comics?
Kind of.
Well,
I do.
Yeah, Inupen was a part of it. Golden Mist is there. Right. Mutton Chop.
Cave King.
Yeah, Cave King as well. So they've been dead in the water for like a couple of months right now. And give the folks your opinion of why Shrine Comics failed. Because they served as a dungeon as well. And I had spoken to a few people at Shrine, and they wanted to submit to Shrine's authority. And in submitting to its authority, their stuff got buried along with the company Shrine Comics. What do you think about Shrine Comics?
By the time that I learned about Shrine, they were already on their way out, and they didn't have like any real outreach. Like they were like I learned about them because of Saturday AM, and it wasn't even like directly off of Saturday AM. It was in a conversation about Saturday AM, and then someone brought up Shrine, and I was like, "The hell's a Shrine?" And I go to go look over, and it's like, "Oh, they got like 3-4 books." Like I had no idea who they were, and then by the time I was trying to get into them, they were gone. So they may have just had really bad metrics or really bad outreach in a space that really was easy to get into. So I had no idea.
Honestly, they did have bad metrics. I would say they are the epitome of a Saturday AM ripoff. Now, Saturday makes it clear that they are all about diversity. Shrine made it clear that they are all about manga for everyone. This inclusive DEI type marketing, right? Which obviously is going to obliterate your business. But they didn't care about that, you know? They thought, oh, this is the right thing to do for whatever reason, not looking at the evidence, and now they dead underwater. Now, those people I spoke to who are part of Shrine, they are not going to come, knock at my door and be like, yo, Coffee, you were right, man, I kind of effed up, can I join on Sulgo or something, or is there a way to redeem myself type thing? Not at all. It's like you're legit going to lose after shooting yourself in the foot and pretend nothing ever happened. Like, this is sickening behavior, bro. Why is it so hard for people to admit that, fine, you made a mistake? If you don't want to say I effed up, fine, just say I made a mistake. Why is it so hard for them?
Because incoherently it would make you right, and that's just one of the things that you don't want.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I honestly wouldn't like it if they came to you personally and said, "Yo, I messed up." I would like it better if they just came out, rebooted, remastered, and was just better off the strength of probably something that you probably did say without giving you like the whole glory of it. That would be even much better.
Yeah, no problem. But fine. Maybe I'm not gonna deify myself that I'm the god of this space, but it's like fine. Y'all don't wanna just make amends with a nigga y'all collectively were hating on. That's why I'm saying this. Is that you hated on me, you called me crazy, and I was right. Now your ass is down under, right? So it would have been better to be like, hey man, I messed up. I'm gonna reboot. I'm sorry that I chimed in with the idiots to slay you and stuff like that. I shouldn't have done that. I was just scared, I just wanted the positive optics. And it's like, no problem, bruh. I mean, that's what it means to be a real G. Why you gotta have this passive aggressive type navigational system about you? Like, man, dudes these days, all kinds of passive aggressive sissy boy, feminine Barbie doll, high heel wearing, dress wearing Neanderthals these days, bro. I'm sick of it, right? But whatever, it's fine. You watched the video I put on Patreon recently about the artist that I roasted.
Yeah.
Without mentioning his name, what's your take on that roast? Was I stretching it? Was I accurate? What?
That's a tough question because once again, I don't know much about this artist.
Oh,
I actually had to learn in the middle of the video. I paused it and was like, let me go look up who this is.
oh,
I will say that your criticism was fair, and it wasn't hostile at all. It's the exact same criticism that you give people in the indie space, where it's like, I don't have time to coddle you. You don't get, as you would say, milk and cookies. All that time is over. We're all adults. It's time for you to hear the actual truth or be crushed underneath someone's heel who will listen.
right.
But I feel like he desperately probably needs to hear it if he's not hearing it from his friend group. It sucks that he has decided to get involved with somebody who is incoherently bigger than he is. And that does not translate well at all. That's not a very even team, so to speak. So he just got trapped into a 360 deal. It's not that good for him.
Yeah, he's gonna die in that guy's shadow, basically, at this point, because it does look like he's abandoned his main product. And as I said, this is cowardness, bro. This is absolute cowardness, and we see the decrease in his art skills as well, because no one is demanding excellence from him. He went from B rank to C rank. Then he started implementing D rank rendering techniques. And this is a de-evolution. And there is no way that...
And right?
Huh?
And you know why he did, right?
Why?
Because he was told it's okay to be lazy.
Right. Hunchback alert. In fact, this is not even I got a new term, y'all. I'm introducing it fresh right here, dropping it with Chris. I stole it from Lower Tier God. This particular artist got some ROG action going. This dude is a straight up ROG, y'all. A ROG is a term to ROG is a term to describe a dysfunctional, Negro, but I would say a dysfunctional person. Now, this Negro is a Negro, this artist, right? So it's still very accurate. Nonetheless, if you're gonna behave like a ROG, it means you're flipping dysfunctional and lazy in particular, right? Because dysfunctional ROGs, their first characteristic is to be lazy, and how they can say it's okay, it doesn't matter. This nigga is a ROG, right? You don't want to be a ROG. I don't want to be talking to no ROG ass niggas anymore. Y'all got to get to work. So that's a new one. So we have Hunchback, Fishwife, Ghoul Golem. I don't really use those that much. But now we got the ROG. Yeah. Now we got the ROG, bro. That's five catchphrases you get with the caffeine, right? So listen and learn, people. Don't be a ROG out here. Don't drink that ROG juice that gonna make you all kinds of lazy, right? Drink that caffeine.
Can you spell that? Is it RAWG?
It's ROG.
Oh, just straight ROG. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Straight up ROG niggas, bro.
Is it based off of Balrog from Street Fighter?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I get it now. Oh my God, I get it now.
Yeah, Lower Tier God he's a ROG himself, bro. Because I recently discovered his videos, and I was like, oh, this dude is cool, Everybody hating on him. I don't know. I don't understand why, because what he's saying is pretty accurate. And then I looked at documentaries on what he did in the past, and I'm like, okay, this nigga is a ROG himself. He made the term, but he's a straight up ROG. But now he seems to be a bit more sober-minded than what he used to be. So I'm like, fine, man, I'll take you as you are now. But ultimately, he's still a ROG. But whatever. It is what it is. Okay, Chris, so tell the folks that what are you going to be contributing to, not to the indie space, it's filled with ROGs up in here, but to the craft, to the altar of the manga style in general. What do you have to offer to the altar? What are you going to offer soon?
Well, even that, yeah. Well, for starters, I'm gonna be doing in one of these damn months. I'll have my actual official debut in the Yogo magazine with Jazz. But over the year, I have looked at myself and realized that the story that I was telling didn't come from within. It didn't come from my own reality, my own experiences. So I decided to kind of start going that route, and it was like, I don't want to make you out to be this like indie evangelist. I don't want to make you out to be something like that. But like, as every time someone talks down about you, there's like 9 people that are like, you know what, motherfucker has a point. And there's a group of us who are like, yeah. So when you start talking more about that, that's when I kind of was like, I might have to try to put that on, because I have stated prior, I didn't like you because I was sitting around everybody else who was like, he this guy, And I was like, yeah, why is this guy just so fucking talking bravado? But then I listened one day and was like, oh, this sounds like me. It sounds like what I would say. So I'm just trying to bring stories that can help elevate. You know, just like how manga is generally used, manga and anime stories are generally used as a mirror of artists' viewpoints or their environment. So when you look at that, that's a standard for me back here in the U.S., where it's like, well, I just started making stories that go with my environment, and so when I went that way, I did that with Dream Match Revolution, and I did that with both of those are taken from the viewpoints of things I've seen here. But the only difference is I didn't worry about should my heroes look like me, because I hate to say it, heroes come in all types of shapes and sizes and colors. Mm-hmm. My hero doesn't have to look like me at all. My hero has to be a fucking hero. So I made sure that all of my people were not just tick boxes.
Okay.
A community of people who don't even spend money on things that they like. You know, we always hear about, we want to have original this, that, and the third. I don't see having original this, that, and the third money coming my way. But I see people who look different from me. But hey, you know what? I like this. You've heard of Malcolm X. A lot of indie people need to have that experience of going from pro-blackness to just being more worldly in what you do, and kind of getting that viewpoint of like, oh shit, I don't have to be this way to spread this, so to speak. So that's just kind of what I'm bringing. It's just trying to bring that more outworldly view. And I do feel like you have helped me in that regard. You and Sergi and everybody else.
All right. Well, so in a way you are inspired to do better and to focus on your inner man. That's what it's about, you know. But I suppose those who have the guts to extrapolate from their inner man, from their own experiences. Number one, they have to have lived life, have experiences in general. And number two, basically, yeah, they need guts. They just need guts to tell a true story, because a lot of them want to hide behind the DEI garbage. They want to hide behind, you know, the narratives, the political narratives, because they don't have anything to tell, you know, because they're a bunch of empty rogs, bro, you know. So
I'm using it.
Yeah, so it's
Here's
fine.
the reason why I use words like fucking like reprobate.
Oh, that's what's up. That's another accurate term found in Bible to explain these rogs, bro. When they just can't help but be a rog, straight up reprobate. There's no coming back. Yeah. You can't be saved, bro. You're finished. You're now an agent of chaos working for Satan, and there's nothing you can do about it. Lost your self-awareness and everything. So, oh well. So, okay, Chris, I'm going to have you back on, but on Coffee TV. We're going to be asking you why in the hell you did all kinds of booty work in the past. You were selling that butter, all kinds of butter exposed. As to why, nigga, you going to have to explain yourself on Coffee TV. You ready for that?
My only short answer is money.
Oh, well, that's boring. Well, we'll hear the circumstance and what inspired you to go in that route aside from the money. You know, just like the type of booty that you put on the page. Like, why that booty? Why the Brazilian one? You know, is it because it's rounder than the Caribbean one type thing? We want all the details.
Is it?
Hey, I don't know, man, but I got a bias for the Brazilian. You know, but who knows? I've never been there. Or the Caribbean, but who knows, right? But you're going to tell us what made you choose that booty over that booty.
I'll do it. I'm definitely going to do it.
All right, y'all. So that was the Mega Roast with Chris. We annihilated Shrine Comics, Monitor the Pedophile, and Didi Mark, the nigga in high heels and a dress, watching Barbie and getting blasted by Art Crumbs with a strap on. We annihilated these rogs up in here. Don't be a rog. Y'all stay tuned for that Coffee TV. What is it? I don't know why you niggas still asking me that, because I said it's mostly The same commentary, just more cinematic, right? And more exclusive things, mostly on Patreon. So that's pretty much it, people. That's pretty much it. Any last words, Chris?
I don't. I think I've said everything I can say.
All right, all right.
Oh, you know what? I do have one more. Please, if you got this far in the video, please sit down and have a honest conversation with yourself, not with nobody else, just with yourself on what you've heard, and try to understand his circumstances, my circumstances, and the environment of which we are having this conversation in before you go into the comments and say what you're going to say. That's all I'm asking.
Well, don't worry, bro. They definitely watch all the way till the end. I had a flipping Rog tell me I watched your video 3 times, and it still made me mad. I'm like, nigga, you had that amount of time, and you still didn't get it? Well, hunchback alert, but whatever. Until next time, y'all, go ahead and buy that volume 3.